Hey guys, welcome back to the Conscious Kingdom. I am so excited to share with you our experiences of up to date. My name is Alex Roseman.
And I'm Julia Fitisova. Hi guys.
So welcome. And what we're going to cover today really is a key part in everybody's life. And we see what happens to those that don't do this. They get wrapped up in their victim mindset, and that is forgiveness. You know, you hear the Nelson Mandelas, you hear people coming out of extreme conditions, camps, whatever it might be. And when you find out they find that forgiveness within themselves, no matter how bad the atrocity is, when they do that, they are free and they live a happier life. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, I believe, you know, it is a beautifully put down thoughts onto paper that he's given from his experience of how to truly forgive, and he went through so many atrocities.
Yes, and as far as I remember, Nelson Mandela was in the same category, because the greats of this world, the ones who leave behind a real essence that then goes on further and inspires other people, are those who had to overcome their ego, and those who had to find in themselves that self-forgiveness. First and foremost, it's all about self-forgiveness. Everything that we experience is always coming back to our relationship with ourselves. I say it over and over again. But self-forgiveness is self-acceptance of the choices, of the decisions, of things that have happened. Because we are our own judges within ourselves, whatever we have been programmed with, and those things that we judge ourselves upon is determined by how much we're willing to forgive ourselves after something that we might call a mistake, because there's no such thing as a mistake.
And after seeing you and your experiences and us going through them together, I have to say I honor my queen to everybody who is watching this and needs to know that what I see in this woman and how she is with people in situations, how she downloads, for those who know what I mean, able to integrate and take on, like the Matrix, information that you think take 20 years, takes minutes for her to upload. And seeing this and how she sees the world through these lenses ultimately is how we want to see this world, and we call it the New Earth. And how she sees that world, I want to do everything in my powers to create that for her. And of course, I need everybody's help to do this, because what we see is absolutely beautiful. And it means the art of forgiveness. It means all the other abnormalities, because that's what I see it as, emotions, the abnormality of it, and it becomes a toxicity. And we'll be dealing with all the array of other emotions that you picked up, that you've learned, and we can help you unlearn it so you can have a miraculous life. And the way I see how Julia leads, you know, and I see how she just views this world, and I want you to taste that too, and I will do everything in my powers for that to be seen in the world. So thank you.
No, thank you. This is just so touching, so heartwarming, of course, coming from my king, you know, who has supported me all along so honorably, so lovingly, so patiently. You know, that the amount of honor and loyalty that you have shown me, I have never seen. And that's something that helped me heal my relationship with myself, because I have gone through a lot of troubles in my life where the world that I have seen out there, that I wanted to see through my eyes, it came back completely different to how I envisioned it to be. So of course, you know, going around this world, really envisioning the best world, and, you know, treating yourself and people as those that you can truly trust and have a very peaceful and fair resolve, then, you know, you invest into that world with that intention in heart. And then the world has a beautiful quality of showing us the opposites first before we create our own. And this is exactly the lesson that I have been going through, because I was shown the opposite of what it is that I want to create, so that I make really strong choices and own them. And then from those choices, create the reality that I truly envisioned. And to have you next to me, to really commit your life to creating that, is just I have no words.
Well, sometimes, you just, that's the thing, isn't it? What you may find people say is, people will say it, and what I observe, more importantly, what people say is what they do, and what's their actions. How do they live their life? How do they do this? And I want to be recognized not by what I'm saying to you, but what I'm going to be doing and showing you. And I know people out there want something different. It's not in this paradigm. It's a different paradigm completely. And the new earth is all about that. The new earth is going to be really catering and making it fair in this world, in every industry, because I'm sure you feel that it isn't. And as you see out there in the world, it isn't. But it's not about being a victim. It's about giving you the power to know you're not a victim. You create your own reality. As much help as we can possibly give, you can find it in yourself wherever you go. You can take this power in your hands and flip it. You can flip the perspective like that. And this is when you completely let go of the hate and the blame, because that's in that place you cannot build, you cannot create, you can't be an expansive person in a happy, joyful place if you're holding on a shred of blame and not making, someone has done something to you, you're still in that place. I mean, if you don't forgive them, you are then what? By definition, still a victim. You are still tormented by that incident that happened, and you're allowing this bully or this energy or whatever you want to call it to carry on controlling your life, so you can hide behind it, so you don't have to take responsibility for your life. It is an amazing story that happened, and it could be an amazing excuse of why you are not living your best life. But who are you excusing? What part of you are you excusing? So let's change the narrative. Let's not that on the head. There's no judgment. Let's just, okay, something happened. Do the work, forgive, go beyond it, because your life is dependent on it and everybody else is around you.
This is very, very inspiring, and there's nothing more to add to this, because it's like a reminder of who we are here in this world. We are all here to create. We are all here to create the reality that we envision, the heaven on earth that we came here to create. We don't have to succumb ourselves to the world that is built on deceit and dishonor and manipulation, where the ones who are more experienced and who are, they think are smarter, they win. Let's change the narrative and bring it back to the fairness, fairness and to the heart within yourself, and choose the narrative where fairness wins, where real honor is the most important value and the quality you can possess as a human being. Where you are living up to your words that you never need contracts ever again, right?
Yeah, imagine a world like that with contracts are there to protect other parties, of course, because ultimately someone may break the deal because they have no honesty, they have no integrity.
Then the contracts actually don't matter. Those people who never really were willing to live up to the contract, they will never honor it, because they knew from the beginning they were not willing to live up to it. So contracts with people who dishonor don't work.
So what we're going through situations in our life, and we can't wait to share it with you when we can, that we're going through this in real time. We are going through it, and to be able to forgive when you're in it, to have that. And the reason I want to tell you this for anybody who's in business, who wants to expand, or any for their personal life, whatever it is, the business is an extension of you. And if you have to understand that when you're in business, as we found out, you cannot get emotional. And what we've seen from high-level people, they get very emotional and they distort reality, which gets them into trouble, because they believe in their stories and the fact that you're blaming them, or they think you're accusing them, or any of these types of actions, is because they are emotional. And you then need to know that if you have not forgiven someone, you will be emotional, and you'll bring that emotion into this reality that is not real. You'll be distorting it, which means that you're hiding the risk, as Julia said, unnecessarily. Forgive as you keep moving forward and keep focusing on the resolve and what is the solution that is best for everybody. Forgive every single minute, because it better serves you.
Forgiving, first and foremost, is letting go. when you're ready to let go of a certain material attachment you have, when you're willing to let go of money, bodies, image, ego, sex, their addictions come in all forms. But the one thing that is, uniting them all at the core is that inability to let go. And you can only let go when you have forgiven. They go hand in hand. Once you truly let go and you forgive yourself, first of all, and you forgive that situation, you have no more energetic ties. And then at that point in time, you call your energy back and you leave the energy of the other person with them, and you're doing the most loving act because they finally get to see and understand who they truly are and own it.
Beautiful. It's making me go into this phrase that I learned recently with you, the Breathing Master Program of Kasia, and it says every upset is a setup. Now think about that. When every time you're upset, you set yourself up to be upset. If you're not forgiving someone, because we're focusing around forgiving, and you find yourself in a situation with them, it's because you set it up. You're still emotionally tangled. The energetic tie is still there. When you fully learn to let go of what we experienced recently, the universe takes care of itself. And that sounds far out, I know. But we are witnessing it every single day. The support and challenge, how it meets, right? And when we see this unfolding, it gives us confirmation that we don't need to hear it from anything else. We just observe the energetic shifting in different forms. And, there's obviously many different practical ways of letting go. There's a whole book called Letting Go I read by guy, MD, Richard Hawkins. Oh, my days. We'll leave a little link in the profile below if you're interested. And for us, we hold our feet to the flame in order to live and breathe this every day. And what really helps, if you are unable to get out of that mindset, there is Dr. John Demartini's method, where you look at all the positives within the negative of what's been done to you, and you look at the moment in time and see, how does it serve them, how did it serve me? Because there's always an equal exchange. And if you don't see that, then what you are doing, you are in an illusion, because you can't have one without the other. You're focusing on a story that is one-sided, and that leaves you emotional and as a victim, and nothing and no one can do to put that right unless you do. And you have to do the work and find it. So what does that mean? See the positives. How did it serve them? How did it serve me? What are the benefits out of it? What am I still deluded about? And once you really get it, you become grateful, you transform it, and it no longer becomes a pattern that's going to show up in your future because you dealt with it in your past.
Gratitude is the most transformative force there is, because when you are in gratitude, you are accepting what you are and who you are and what you have. You're accepting it, and you're honoring it. You're praising it, you're appreciating it, and whatever you appreciate, as Alex always says. And this brings me to the point where the gratitude that we have for John Demartini's method, that has helped us to see that in the process we are deeply, deeply grateful. And we had the opportunity to meet him recently.
Yeah, a couple of days ago, actually. Yeah, in the Four Seasons. We were here, and funny enough, Julia's never seen him before, but she spotted him straight away. And he's somebody I know, I've interviewed before, and I see him as a friend. And it was quite incredible to see my queen show up in front of someone like Dr. John Demartini, who is well renowned. Please look him up. Genuine human being. And seeing my queen show up, I could see that he was looking at something that wasn't from this world. And through his eyes, I mean, if anyone is as lucky to find someone who is their queen, who sees the very best in them and the world, and holds you to account, as I do her, at that level of communication, what we realize that we move at lightning speed. We're able to do things in a day that most people maybe take in a year, and that's not from the ego. I just see what's going on, because you have no excuses in a way. Then all you are is a being showing up and attracting what you are, and opportunities keep flowing because you've done the work to clean up the buffer, the oil, the stuff that was around. And once that's all cleaned up, you just, and we're a vessel that just keeps on shining, and we have this beautiful purpose, this journey ahead of us. and to help you understand this. This is why we're doing this. We do this out of love.
Yeah.
And we really just want to show up for you guys at the highest caliber.
Highest possible caliber. It is so true. And you know, the victim role and letting go of the victim role is really the pillar of so many unfoldings that we have gone through. Because once you truly and honestly and honorably let go of the victim role, and you no longer feel sorry for yourself because you are judging yourself, feeling yourself to be in less situation that is not serving you, being fearful, being scared, looking everywhere else but within yourself, trying to defend yourself, you know, in the situations where might not need defending. When you are in that situation, when you are a victim, and we all experience this at some point in our lives, this is something we learn from when we're young, because it teaches us a certain protective mechanism. Right? And this certain protective mechanism is something that protects us from going on to the higher levels, protects us from going out into our hearts. And it's only from our hearts that we can change anything. Please notice that when you go into your heart and you're truly grateful and you truly love and are in love, the most magnificent things happen. Until you're not there, and until you're in a victim mode in between, you will be suffering. Victim mode is that one of suffering. As soon as you own it and you own yourself, who you are, no matter what the truth is. Doesn't matter the truth. It doesn't matter as long as it's the truth. You don't get judged as long as it's the truth, and you're honoring it and you're owning it and you're moving on, and you want to make a difference in this world and not operate from the programs of survival.
And it's not about letting other people off the hook. I want you to know that. It's not about that they are not accountable. I've been through something very similar in my personal life, very close to home. And looking at my childhood through my sister's eyes recently, I realized what her perspective was, why she is where she is now. And it broke my heart. I mean, I think I cried for 2 days. And seeing that, her childhood from her perspective, I realized that was my childhood. It was like I was growing up as an orphan because of the love that you think should be there for your children was not there. And I was ultimately brought up by my brother and my sister, is what it felt like when I saw it. And I was, you know, it was a breakthrough. It was a massive awareness. And I saw things as they were, the attachment to certain things in my life that just disappeared through the breakthrough. No more victim to a child, no more of that story. We did our very best to break my sister's illusion of it and forgive. And it's not about, ultimately, yes, it's forgiving the other person, but it's forgiving yourself, because that's who you're blaming, right? That's who you're blaming. You're blaming yourself. You need to forgive yourself. You need to know that most likely it's carrying on from your childhood, that it was your parents' job, it wasn't your fault. And it wasn't. And when you really get that and you're able to release yourself from that prison, you'll be able to flourish. You really will be able to grow, but only until you're willing to take full responsibility for your life. And it doesn't mean that they're not held responsible. I have certainly made those who were in my childhood responsible, not by judging them, but by showing them a way to take them through a process. I'm going to hold their hand. I'm going to love you either way, but go through this process, go through this journey, give to yourself, let go of all that blame, hatred of whatever happened in your past. I will be there from the beginning to the end, pay for the whole thing, only so that you can find your true self and find your happiness. That is my only selfish thing about us. And we share that. And she showed me this way. And I've been around many masters in my life. And when you find your ultimate place, that's it. And you build from there. And all we want to do is see that for every single one of you. And we'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we would love to start this conversation of what it is that is holding you back, what you need to forgive if you feel you need to forgive, what forgiveness means for you, and really nurture that process for you. Because I promise you, as soon as you let go of the material attachments and forgive yourself for holding on to them, you find freedom in this world and you find freedom in this life. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
And if there's something we can leave you with, maybe a few affirmations, something that you can say to yourself over and over again, that I am strong.
I'm innocent.
I am capable.
I am free.
I am forgiveness.
I am abundance.
All of these affirmations, and I'm reading the book from, what's the recent one? The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It's an old one, it's a classic one, and it really does help with the affirmations that we've seen with our children.
Yes.
And we really recommend it. Break the old program. Remind yourself who you truly are, and we're there for you.
We love you guys.
Much
Bye.
love.